Major stock markets and mainland markets rebounded in the last hour of trade on Friday to close with a mild upside. Shares in Shanghai are crawling back close to their record highs, with the Shanghai Composite Index closing the week at 2,937 points, which is about 100 points from the record of 3,049. Banking stocks jumped at the close of trade, with China's biggest lender, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, rising over 2.5%, and the Bank of China jumping over 3%. There wasn't much fresh market-moving news on Friday, but traders believed the late session rebound was due to newly created mutual funds buying into the blue chips. At the same time, liquidity remains abundant, and so far, policy details from the ongoing MPC sessions have generally been positive, so investors are slowly moving back into the market. One positive piece of news from the session is the proposed unified tax rate, as we mentioned earlier in our show, for domestic and foreign companies. Not only will this put them on a more level playing field, it will also cut the tax rate for local companies from 33% to 25%. Taking a quick look at the charts, on Chinese mainland, Shanghai Composite is up by 0.34%, Shenzhen Component down by 1.25%. As for B shares in Shanghai, it's down by 1.35%. B shares in Shenzhen also down by 0.22%. And of course, the 300 index is down by 0.62%. Well, over in Hong Kong, stocks there slipped a little in volatile trade, but H shares, or mainland shares listed in Hong Kong, outperformed. For more details, here's Reuters correspondent Angela Jones in Hong Kong.
Mainland shares traded in Hong Kong rose on Friday ahead of next week's reshuffle of the benchmark stock index. But the blue chip Hang Seng Index fell 0.2% in volatile trade. China enterprise stocks rose 0.8% and red chips slipped 1.4%. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China's stock was higher. China's largest bank is set to join the benchmark Hang Seng Index from next week. China Life Insurance also rose ahead of its inclusion in the index on Monday. But China Mobile lost ground as its representation will be cut. Many fund managers adjust their investments to match index weightings. Bank of Communications slipped. The lender disappointed investors with a 33% rise in profit for last year. But Aluminium Corp of China jumped almost 4% ahead of its earnings report on Monday. Shareholders of Hutchison Telecommunications approved the $11 billion sale of the firm's Indian mobile business. The company plans to use the money to expand in Vietnam and Indonesia. And reports say that PetroChina has not yet made firm plans to sell shares in the mainland. The country's top oil producer may raise almost $4 billion. Finally, Forbes magazine's billionaires list for this year included Yang Jun of Nine Dragons Paper. She was one of 3 self-made Chinese women to debut on the widely watched index. For CCTV, I'm Angela Jones, reporting for Reuters.
And with that weekly wrap-up of China's major stock markets, we come to the end of this edition of BizChina on CCTV International. I'm Rui Chenggang in Beijing. Thank you for joining us. Have a nice weekend.